Hello everyone, I'm Jester and welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. In today's episode, we're gonna have one of my favorite episodes because this is one that you wanna see. I can leave it at that. I talk about it in the last episode, but we're just gonna go straight at it. But before we go to it, I'm gonna give a little plug. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers right now. We're so close to getting there. So if you guys can share this video with your friends, tell them to subscribe, tell them there's gonna be more of this. I will really appreciate it. And if we make it to 100 subscribers, I will release a special video, not about Darrell Brooks, but about, let's just say, really bad people. You wanna see that? It's one of the worst people that you can encounter in your everyday life. So give it a subscribe, and we're gonna go right to the video.
Your test result was hand delivered to you, folded. Did you receive that?
I was made aware of my I didn't look at it.
Just a little recap. This guy was complaining that he had COVID. He had extreme fatigue and lack of taste. So he was like, hey, I get COVID. Delay the procedures until I get my results. And the court was like, nah. And then he got the results, and the judge wants him to like tell me what it is so we can delay the trial if we need to. And he's like, no.
Yet, so
Do you have it with you?
it is. It's in my paperwork somewhere.
All right, I need you to locate it and open it up, please.
May I ask the reason why that would be?
Mr. Brooks, you raised this issue yourself, and
Yeah.
I'd like to know the result.
I would too, but I was kind of in the middle of preparing for my defense, so
Mr. Brooks, find the piece of paper
He
and
read
open
it.
it up.
He
and
already
read
knows
it,
what
please.
it is.
Your Honor, I don't consent to being talked to in that fashion.
Your lack of consent is noted for the record. Please find the piece of paper, open it up, and please read it.
I will not consent to that, Your Honor. Or do I agree to that, Your Honor? I do
You
not.
raised the motion.
Mr. Brooks, then I'm going to advise the Sheriff's Department to find the piece of paper and hand it to me so that I can read it.
This is
So
not a
that
game.
those are your two options.
What would be the basis for that, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, this is an issue that you raised, and I need to bring it to finality and know what the test result is.
Okay, with all due respect, it was a motion that I raised.
All right, I'm going to clear the courtroom. We're going to go off the record, and we're going to find that piece of paper, and
You
I'm
asked for
going
it.
to address it when that's done. It's my understanding there was some type of situation or altercation between Mr. Brooks and the deputies. Ultimately, though, I think he was taken into the bullpen. He was
got a
brought
cut again?
back out, but it was very clear to me that he was upset. But I needed to make a record of what was being done, including that I have obtained the test result, so that there's an accurate record in this case related to the motion that was raised previously by Mr. Brooks. I want Mr. Brooks to know that I am not removing him from when the jurors are brought back in. It was just simply because he was upset. He was very loud when I walked into the courtroom before going on back on the record. He was yelling about his constitutional rights being violated. I advised him that if there was any type of use of force that he wanted to complain about, he could certainly do that through the proper channels with the Sheriff's Department. But just given his state of agitation and my need to make a record, I had him taken to the other courtroom. He is currently muted. I can confirm that the test result for COVID-19 was negative. And again,
Negative. He was lying the whole time. You cannot cheat science. So another lie by Mr. Brooks.
I required the Sheriff's Department to provide that result to me, and it will remain under seal. I realize I'm disclosing that result, but I feel obligated to do that given the motion that was raised 2 days ago by Mr. Brooks.
Here it comes.
Again, I intend to take an early lunch. So that will hopefully give Mr. Brooks an opportunity, if he so chooses, to review the result himself. It was put in front of him. I did see that he either shoved it or tossed it or just dismissed it. It looked like it went on the floor
That happens a lot.
when it was put in front of him, but we'll certainly have the deputies give that to him again. During the recess for lunch, Mr. Brooks will also be given the opportunity to change into street clothes if he so chooses. But when we come back, he will be in this courtroom. I let him, make his objections or lack of consent. He did that respectfully. When I said I was moving on, he generally was able to do that. We were able to get through 2 witnesses. He was able to follow along, ask cogent, clear, responsive, and articulate objections. He was able to elicit information from the witnesses regarding either their memory, their credibility, and other things. Generally speaking, he's been able to competently represent himself and provide, again, solid cross-examination this morning. So I'm going to give
like
him
that
an
there's so
opportunity
many.
to
Look at that.
hopefully settle back in and to come back here when we return from lunch. So with that, we are in recess. Probably come back at 1 o'clock, since it's only 11:30, and we'll take the full 90 minutes for lunch today. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, now let's talk with this picture right here. I just want to say this. It's not that I'm happy that someone sat. It's not that. It's just that this guy is a bully. This guy is just a bully to people that are weaker than him. Like, he will just go straight to women, and he will hit them, and he will scream at them because he knows that he can get away with it. And seeing this guy, like right now, what you're looking at is a guy that has tried everything, every lie, every tactic, every delay to get out of it. And now that it's not working, then he's realizing that it's not working. He's coming to that he's getting to grips with that in his head, and he's realizing that he's not gonna get away with it this time. And I love that. I love when a bully doesn't get away with it, because they're not supposed to. But I love this. Just grab a clip of this, grab a print screen of this, and put it as your background paper. You will be happy every day.
All right, Mr. Brooks, anything you want to address at this point?
And he's still that.
It's hard for me to see his head. He's bent over, but I thought I saw him shaking his head. No, but I'll ask one more time. Mr. Brooks, anything you want me to address before the jurors are brought out to continue with testimony from witnesses?
Just a little emotional right now.
A little.
All right. Let's bring the jury out. We'll continue. I presume the state has a witness available. We do. All right.
He only cries when it's about himself. He never cries for the victims. He only cries because he's not getting away with it, or he's gonna go to jail forever. And he just wasting tissues.
I'll say something really quick.
Mr. Brooks, the jury is headed out.
Say, may I say something really quick?
Why don't you hold off on that, and at the next appropriate time when they're not on their way in, I can address whatever it is. Or if you want to pass me a note, you can do that as well.
That Bible he's never read anything of it. He's just looking at it. Just, I take issue that he gets the whole page just to write.
I
2 lines.
received a complaint to respond in emergency fashion, which means light and siren, for subjects fighting in the park with a knife allegedly involved.
Where were you coming from?
I was in the patrol area of East Moreland, roughly at East Main Street at the time, and that's where I was responding from.
Was Main Street shut down at the time for the parade?
Main Street where I was responding from was not, no.
Okay. I guess let me ask a better question. Were you able to travel along Main Street to get to Frame Park?
This is acting.
From where you were located
I
to
said
get to where you needed to
50%
go?
active,
Did you
50%
travel
real.
on Main Street?
I did not travel on Main Street to get to Frame Park.
Okay. This time, Your Honor, I'm going to ask your permission to put up Exhibit 1, which is the map of the area we've been working off of.
Permission granted.
So that is a touch screen in front of you. If you want to draw or circle or anything like that, you may, or you can just simply talk. I'd like you to identify for us where you came in to the area.
That would be, looks like the vicinity that I probably responded to. I would need to see a bigger image. That will suffice.
Okay.
So I responded in a direction on White Rock Avenue.
He's not even paying attention.
Coming this way. This now is Baxter Avenue, which I would have made a right-hand turn onto. And right about in this parking lot area.
Did you drive around a little bit?
I drove around in the parking lot of the Schutze building. There was another officer already on scene who, from my understanding, was already on foot in and around the vicinity of the Schutze building
Shoves a
and advised
tissue
that they could
on
not
his
find
mask.
anybody at the Schutze building.
I don't know what that
Okay.
does.
Officer Phillips, do you see White Rock School on this map?
I do, yes.
Could
Why?
you put an X on White Rock School?
White Rock School is this elongated building right
Gonna be
here.
full weight
So
up
we'll
there.
draw a large X through it.
Okay.
I pulled my squad over. I exited my driver's side of the vehicle, came around to the front of my vehicle when a short black female who was wearing what appeared to be a blue coat and blue jeans walked in the front of my patrol vehicle. There was 2 other subjects that were with her, and they started to indicate that she had been assaulted by a boyfriend of some type.
Did
So-
you see any injury on her?
So at that time, I did. She had an obvious black eye on one side of her face. The other eye also looked like it was swollen, but it was appear that she had facial injuries that were obvious.
Did you eventually ask this person for her name?
I did eventually ask for her name, yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me that her full name was Erica Patterson. The calls on the radio at that point were 1078 after 1078 after 1078.
Okay,
And
what does that mean?
so 1078 in law enforcement jargon is officer needs immediate assistance right now, all available units.
Yeah.
As that was being called multiple times, other people were coming on the radio and stating there were subjects down in the street, then it was 10 people down, then it was 15, then it was to 30 or 40. The greater danger and the clear and present threat that was happening downtown had to draw my attention. I had to leave.
Yeah.
All right. The events that you've described for us so far, are those all captured on your squad video, sir?
Yes,
And this is a clip from that squad video?
it appears to be, yes.
Okay. Move to admit and permission to publish Exhibit 6, please.
Mr. Brooks, any position on that?
Yeah. What is the grounds? We haven't seen what's in the video.
Your objection is noted. It is overruled. Exhibit 6 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
She just said what is in the video.
Black guy, red SUV, just assaulted my friend in the park. Oh shit!
This guy, he not hit me. So they call the cops.
I can imagine what it's like that receiving that call.
You can check me. That's nice.
I've already been slashed with a knife.
He didn't run me out.
Let me pull over here.
Yeah,
All right, man, number 1052. Get it, sorry, man. I didn't say he
Farming, Union 1052, I copy 854.
122, out there, car, Bedford, westbound. Hey, hold on for a second, okay? 216, I need another at Hartwell and White Rock. I have another person reporting.
Oh, just give me chills. Imagining that.
White Rock, Hartwell, right?
Me and my baby daddy, we argue all the time.
Okay.
They understand when he ran me over with a car. Right now we're just talking on the street. Nothing is happening. There's no knife, nothing. They call for me and he's not arguing with me.
Ah, Jesus.
I said the women's shelter.
Who assaulted you? Who ran?
We're arguing, we're insulting. They call.
Did he have a weapon?
We have multiple subjects now. 10 to 15 people, main and gas fire, receiving main and gas fire 1078.
They call. There's no fucking weapon.
I didn't call it. You gotta handle that fine. Okay, what is your name? Give me your name.
That desperation on the voice of the officer.
What's your date of birth?
October 7, 1990.
So, 10/7/1990? Erica Patterson? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm out.
I copy 1078.
Well, my unit 552, People's Park, female, not conscious, not alert, not breathing. King County, everybody here available now. Well, two has got multiple critical fractures.
No reaction.
Unconscious, unresponsive,
No guilt.
5-year-old.
Staring into the screen. Why you don't cry now? Why are you not crying now?
Was that you running away from your squad, sir?
That was me running away.
He rolls his eyes.
Go ahead and have a seat, please.
Irredeemable.
When you got to Main Street, where'd you
Irredeemable.
go?
You saw me running down towards the center of the street. At that point, I was just trying to assist any officer, EMS, civilian individual that was around, and it was just mass chaos, carnage everywhere.
Did you attempt to render aid to some injured individuals?
There was approximately 2 to 3 individuals I can remember talking to directly. They were all members of the band. I don't know which band it was. It was one of the high school bands. There was a number of them laying in the street, obviously injured. I had face-to-face contact with a few of them laying on the ground. There were parents screaming at me to help their kids. The third person I came across was also a band member. She was a female. Her leg was obviously injured. She was being held upright by a couple of adults. And I asked her what was wrong, what was hurting, if there's anything more serious with her as she was being held up. And she said, "Officer, I saw what happened. I saw who did this." And I said, "What can you tell me?" And she said, "A red SUV sped through the parade and did this."
These 3 injured individuals you spoke to, would you describe them all as being about teenage years?
Objection.
Overruled, he may answer.
This is the grounds, Your Honor.
Overruled, he may answer.
So is he gonna answer to the question, to
Yes.
the prosecution table, or to the jury? I'm not sure. He's looking at them answering the questions, but they're not answering the question, asking the questions.
What?
You may answer the question, sir.
The 3 individuals that I met with initially had band uniforms on, and it was my understanding that the band
So he's complaining that the Susan asks him something, and then he turns around and tells their answer to the jury, which is fine because they're the ones that are supposed to be listening. But he's like, why she's not looking at her while he's answering the question?
And from that vicinity, right then and there, was a high school band, so I would place them all at teenage age range.
Okay, thank you. Were you aware that at some
objecting
point
to that for some reason.
person was taken into custody in the 500 block of Elizabeth Street that was related to this incident, sir?
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled.
I was made aware a little while after my involvement directly in the downtown area, yes.
Did you learn the name of the person who had been taken into custody?
Yes.
What was that name?
I knew from radio traffic at the time that it was a Darrell Brooks.
Did you have an opportunity to go back and try and investigate the initial complaint you had taken from Erica Patterson?
I did identify Ms. Patterson fully by positive ID, yes.
And did you learn of any complaints that have been filed by Ms. Patterson in the past to other police agencies?
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled. He may answer the question that's being posed at this point.
I did conduct some more investigation after my involvement in the entire mass casualty incident. When I went back to the police department afterwards, and I was able to verify that Erica Patterson had been involved in other police cases outside of Waukesha.
And specifically, could you find anything linking Ms. Patterson to the defendant, Darrell Brooks?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
I did find information through our reporting system and other law enforcement sources to directly link Erica Patterson to Darrell Brooks, yes.
And did that information also directly link Darrell Brooks to a vehicle described as a red SUV?
Yes, it did.
I noticed, Officer Phillips, you are in uniform this afternoon. Were you scheduled to work today?
Yes.
He wears his uniform.
So it would be fair to say that you would be on duty as of now if you weren't giving testimony in this matter.
I would be on duty right now, yes.
Part of his job.
So it would also be fair to ask if it would be fair to say that you giving testimony right now, you're still getting paid for it?
Yeah.
I am currently employed by the City of Waukesha Police Department on a working patrol shift, on a normal shift for myself, yes.
So with that, would it be fair to say that you are getting paid right now as we speak?
Just said yes.
Yes, I'm getting paid right now.
By whom?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. Next question.
That doesn't matter to the case, dude.
Were you subpoenaed by the plaintiff in this matter?
Can you rephrase the question?
Were you subpoenaed to testify here today by the plaintiff?
Can you explain it in another way?
He doesn't get.
That was pretty
Because
clear.
it's,
Were you subpoenaed to testify by the plaintiff in this matter?
I was subpoenaed by the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office to testify in this matter.
And can you say that again just for the record?
I was subpoenaed by the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office in this matter.
Is the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
again with the plaintiff thing.
Do you know of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Here we go.
Sustained.
Have you ever seen the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Have you ever talked
Sustained.
Have you ever talked to the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Doesn't matter.
Why are you continuing to look at parties that are not asking the questions?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
And to be fair, he only looks at
So,
when he's answering. When he's asking, he's
in
looking
the
at
video,
him.
it's kind of
When he's
hard to
answering,
hear
he turns around.
everything that was said when you pulled over and interviewed the three individuals. Can you give a little more commentary on what was actually said?
Is that a question?
Can you clarify exactly?
Yeah. Which part?
What
about it?
exactly were you told by the three individuals that you pulled over to interview?
I don't remember or recall exactly what all three individuals said to me
It's been a
as
year.
1078 and the screams for help by other officials over the radio were directing my attention to figure out what was also going on downtown. What I recall hearing from these individuals is that one of the individuals that was not Erica indicated that their friend had been in a fight or an altercation. So that's when I decided to pull over to try to get more information out of them. Erica, told me that nothing happened, that there was just a verbal altercation, that she wanted nothing to happen and she just wanted to leave. That's when another one of the individuals said, Erica, you need to report what happened. And she still didn't want to. And that was basically about the extent of it when I just tried to get her name as these calls over the radio were coming for whatever was happening downtown that was unbeknownst to me at the time.
So would it be fair to say that you do recall the commentary
Yeah, but not exactly.
of the interview?
I'm sorry. Now I will object as argumentative, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Sustained. What I would say, Mr. Brooks, is the use of the word commentary mischaracterizes the evidence. It's argumentative.
So it would be fair to say that you do recall what was said after already saying you don't recall.
You say exactly.
I object. It's argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
He's trying to twist the words to make him feel
And
like
just
he
so we're
lied.
clear for the record, you did not talk to the plaintiff about testifying.
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you say vague? Were you contacted in any way by the plaintiff to testify here today?
Can we drop this?
Objection irrelevant.
Sustained.
Cut him off.
Do you know if there's even a plaintiff in this matter?
I was contacted by the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office to testify in this case.
There you go.
Do you know if that's the plaintiff in this matter?
Why he has to go so low?
Generally, in a criminal case, the plaintiff would be the state of Wisconsin.
That's what he wanted to say.
That is my
That's what he
assumption in
wanted
this
him to
case, that
say.
the plaintiff is the state of Wisconsin.
Hey,
So the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff in this matter to your knowledge.
he has the tissue in his mouth.
That would be correct, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I'd also like to move Exhibit 1C into the record, please.
Exhibit 1C is received.
All right, we're gonna leave it we're gonna leave it here for the video. Thank you for watching. I was really expecting to see this one. We're gonna come back tomorrow with more of the Darrell Brooks saga. Thank you for watching. Give it a like to the video if you like it. I'll see you guys next time.